This is Sharon with Anteleki Visions, and this is an energy update for the week of June 1st through June 7th. So welcome to the new month and the month where summer begins. I know May felt like a never-ending, infinite month that really required a new level of strength within ourselves that we may not have realized was even possible. There was some movement that happened in May that really let us move more towards this slow reopening in the world. Yes, the situation is still very present and rippling out in our lives in many new ways, and as we emerge slowly, we're realizing the permanent shifts that have taken place. Not just within ourselves and all that has transpired from this great pause, but within the world and this new format or this new pattern of how all of the pieces of our life have now fallen into place in a completely new way. And so this is taking some time to adjust, and it will continue to do so as we are learning this new way of being and way of living with a completely new perspective. And so we're navigating this almost blindly, but innately, as though we are moving with a place of trust and intention that this is how we are going to operate from, that we are going to move forward regardless of how things may look and regardless of how things may have happened over the course of the several last months. However, there is still a very present reality occurring, and as we move out of our cocoons and into the world, it's as though a very difficult period is slowly receding from our lives. It may not seem that way presently, but we are slowly unfolding to really create a new path for ourselves, for the world, and for the collective, and a direction that's more full of ease. And with that, a lot is being sparked that feels like an extreme divide, an imbalance where the light is growing, the light is amplifying, and the shadow is equally amplifying as well. This great pause that we have been in has truly not been in vain, and it asked you to shed in ways that really unearth some very deeply seated truths for your life. So this has not been an easy passage at all, and you have made it through one of the most difficult periods. Yes, we're still in the woods with it, but you'll find that in the weeks and months to follow, the results of this period will really begin to unfold. So right now we are officially in the doorway. We are officially in the opening for eclipse season, and we have a very, very powerful summer ahead. Eclipse season is the cosmic wild card. As I was speaking about in the previous update, eclipses arise to really shake things up or to shift things that may have been entrenched in our life that need movement, that need some kind of breakthrough or some kind of sudden transformation. And you may be kind of weary at that thought, knowing that we have already been through so much powerful transformation already. However, these eclipses are going to touch the lives of every single person on the planet, and they're going to facilitate a breakthrough that is much needed right now. For as we've been moving through this period, it's not so much that it's been stagnant, but we've been on this track of this experience for many, many months. And so this eclipse season will serve as this breakthrough period that will be very much of a pivotal point in the year. So you will find that this summer really shapes the themes and how things unfold for the next half of the year. So themes that really pop up now in this eclipse season will play out in our lives over the next year and a half. So eclipse really bring almost like an element of surprise, and at times there is surrendering that is needed or adapting to something. And there's nothing to fear because they can touch our lives in many different ways. They can be very subtle, or they can be very profound and very bold, where some doors close that are very noticeable, and then at the same time some doors open and really allow us to step into a new phase, a new dawn that maybe we might not have done otherwise. So these eclipses really kind of pluck from our lives anything that might not be needed anymore. And they also can implement a new beginning, a new chapter, and seed something that we do need. So they're very synonymous with doing that for our lives. So we could expect that. However, they can subtly touch your life. They can be elements or catalysts for emotions to arise, some kind of emotional breakthrough or perspective shift for your life. So usually they come in pairs, as I was saying in the last update. This summer we have 3 eclipses in a row. So we are headed into a very, very powerful month this June, as we have the summer solstice in the midpoint of this month, which starts the season of summer, and it also falls on the eclipse day as well. So we have quite a powerful transformation that we're heading into, and so that ability to surrender, to adapt, to be flexible is much needed in this month. But there's also an aspect of hopefulness. As I was saying, we are exiting an extremely challenging period, and so this month is acting as a breakthrough point to take us to that next step, to take us to that next direction. Because you may have been feeling as though there is a lot of stagnation as we have been in quarantine, and maybe life has looked the same day after day after day, stuck indoors, not able to do very much other than be inside. There is that sense of eagerness for change, an eagerness to shift something, to have some kind of novelty and newness. So this season of the eclipses could not come in a more perfect time, because we are ready for that shift. We are ready for something new, something different. And I know we are all going through much still, and that excitement towards new does not downplay any challenge or any difficulty that anyone is going through still presently. It's a matter of the energy kind of moving forward and really allowing us to kind of take a little bit of a gear shift after all that we've been kind of traversing through in the last several months. So as we move even closer to this, you may already be feeling it, because as this report comes out, the eclipse is going to be happening on the 5th this week, the first one in the series. And it is a lunar eclipse, and it falls on a full moon, which they always do. And so it's amplified by that full moon energy, which is already about a culmination, a finalizing of a chapter, a release, a letting go. And the lunar eclipse energy is about that as well. It's about releasing, it's about letting go of something that no longer served us, or we have completed a lesson of growth and change, and it's time to move on to the next stage of our life. So the lunar is often known for that. And then the solar eclipse in the later part of the month at the solstice is more about the new beginnings, more about seeding something, starting something new. So this lunar period is very important. You may find that you have some kind of emotional shift around that as it's catalyzed with the full moon. And this amplification of energy is already being experienced right now as I'm recording this. So we're in this doorway, and it's going to build and grow and get even more potent as the weeks pan out. We have the third and final eclipse in the first week of July. So we are in this doorway of these eclipses and these changes for the next many weeks and about a month and a half. And know that these shifts play out for quite a while following the eclipses. So we're ready to move through a really, really potent month ahead. And I know there's a lot occurring in the world, not just surrounding what we've all been going through with the pandemic, but also with other heightened issues presently. And it's almost as though the amplification of energy, I was being shown a light shining in a dark room. And the dark room may have had, this is the vision that came through, cockroaches in it. And cockroaches do not like the light. And so when the light shines in a dark room, the cockroaches scatter. And so with that, this is a very potent metaphor for what is happening in the world. That as the light amplifies, as the light grows, it shines a light on the shadow. Anything that was in that dark room that does not like the light, that does not resonate with the light. And so when the light shines upon it, it scatters. It grows even quicker. It almost gets frenetic and very chaotic because it doesn't know where to go to kind of exit that light or to get away from that light. And there's really no place for it to go other than to dismantle or diminish. So this is what's occurring on the planet, that anything that needed to be seen that was in the shadow or that was being hidden from us or kind of lying below the surface that needed to be shown more truth and come up to the light to be seen is now being exposed. And even if we were aware and we had that knowledge and knowing of some of these issues, it's as though they are getting even more amplified under these times. And so you'll find this in the weeks, months, and even years to come, that situations like that, anything that needed to be exposed, anything that is the shadow side of life or that dualistic nature, is coming up to be seen in a very almost frenetic, scattered, and chaotic quality. And so all that you're seeing on a world stage right now that may feel very amplified and intense is part of this whole process. So with that, your own life, your own path may be growing in a certain way where your light is expanding and your light is shifting. And if it hasn't already, the paths will really shift as we get even deeper into this year, which is about deep, deep transformation. So it's this dualistic balance of you growing even more towards your light, and especially if you're drawn to a channel like this, that you are on that path of growing more into your own self-work and really doing the work that's needed to take yourself to that next level, you'll find that expands even more. And so the world will increase with its own sense of growth and transformation. But you are holding that light. You are expanding and stepping up into more of your truth. And that is so needed, especially as the world is going through this process over the next many years. So not a light update, but definitely want to share more about what we're entering for this summer, and also to be excited because we do have a lot of shifting energies that are going to help set the stage for much over the next many months. If you do need additional support at this time, I am offering remote sessions and in-person sessions with the slow reopening, that you can learn more about my services at entelechivisions.com. I invite you to like and subscribe to this channel, as it does help to support the channel. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, a wonderful month of June, and I thank you for listening.